It feel like it's been a minute. Guess because we was out with the Tennessee brothers last week. All right, let's get it.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Gargadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect, Tabernacle David, Speckled Break One, say shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Hey, man, you got a lot of things out here taking place, man. You know, a lot of prophecies popping off, man. The Lord is plaguing this place, man. You know, I did a lesson last night on there's wildfires happening again. You know, so-called coming from Canada, you know, and Nero, aka Trump, he's blaming it on Canada and stuff. You know, you got in the UK, they telling their citizens to prepare, you know, for something coming, man. You know, the Lord causing these earthquakes everywhere, floods. You know, the Lord is plaguing this place, man. Babylon the Great, you know, America, right? That great whore, man. This place does not have a lot of time left. So you Jakes, you Israelites, man, hey, if you hear this word and it substance your spirit, man, you need to get right with YASHAMIAHLA, man. Right? The time is very short. We don't have a lot of time left in this place, man. You know, they talking about some explosive diarrhea, you know. You got damn recall on blueberries, and you know, you can't even eat certain fruits and stuff, man. Like this man's the damn devil, man.
Yeah.
You know, like it says in Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. You know, hey, we gotta get up out of here, man. We pray to YASHAMIAHLA every day that the Lord speak this thing up even more. You know, all hell break loose, let it happen, man. We want the kingdom, man. You know, the scriptures say, except no flesh shall be saved, you know, except those days be shortened, man. You know, but for the elect's sake, those days are being shortened, and the Lord is doing that. But hey, we suffering here, man. You know, the saints are tired, man. You know, we worn out at this place, man. You know, we getting older in this place, man. I can only imagine the apostles, man. They've been in this thing for a long time, man. 30, 40 years. You know, they've been enduring, man, and we hope to endure to the end. You know, but hey, we constantly calling on the Lord, man. This is one of those things where we come out to the highways and byways to where we're praising the Lord and we're crying for him to come back, man.
Yeah, making your call on the election sure, as you should. Right? Because if not, you're going to get the ultimate plague, as the brother was talking about. You got these plagues out here now, right? With the lettuce and, you know, just as the people were getting their diet in order, they send this plague out, right? Stop eating all that processed food and shit at Burger King, Dairy Queen, all that shit, you know. They, of course, they want to send out this plague. And also, as I did a lesson the other day about the rise of 3D printed meat, 3D printed foods, you know. Yeah, we got to get the heck up out of here. This is hell. But yeah, that ultimate plague, that thermonuclear destruction, man. If you ain't doing what you, first and foremost, you got to be an Israelite, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, speckled bird. All right, the speckled bird is our people coming in. They're going to, a lot of them is going to come in looking like the other nations, but you can tell by their spirit, right? As the scriptures say, the spirit bears witness with our spirit that they are the children of power. You can tell by the spirit a lot of times that they are Jake, right? So if you ain't taking heed to this thing, you will be destroyed, right? I got this right here. Damn it. Damn Satan, man. 1 Samuel 4 and verse 8. Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of the mighty powers? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. You see? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, right, there's a great judgment that's going to come upon you. So don't play around with the Lord, man. Yeah, if you got anything, all right.
God, I'm bring this one out. You know, when the Lord said he was going to make a new earth, man. You know, we need that, man, desperately, man. You know, we shouldn't have to, every time we get some food, I mean, you know, it's a part of the curses and everything like that, but, you know, in the righteous kingdom, we shouldn't have to look at the ingredients, man. You know, the only ingredients there should be is the elements that the Lord made. You know, from the periodic table. You know, brothers remember, you know, in school and all that in the world. You know, that's the only ingredients that should be in there. There should be no extra stuff in there that you can't pronounce. You know, that's things that's been chemically infused in the food, man. You know, and a lot of food that lasts a long time, those would be the worst ones, because if something's really organic, it ain't gonna last a long time. Like the shelf life of it. Yeah. Even when you bring it home, it's gonna go bad if you don't eat it quickly, depending on what it is, fruit or vegetables. It ain't gonna last long, man. But
Salakia, before you get that point, because I got some family members that's coming in from another country. They say that's how it is when you go to these other countries, man. And like I said, Salakia, I had to insert this in because, you know, here in America, like the brother said, you have all these chemicals, all these foods that have a longer shelf life. When you go to other countries like Japan, you know, like where some of my family members moved to, right? They don't have all that. You buy what you want within that day, right? Because if you don't eat it, it's going to go bad within a couple days, or that day, or you know, a couple days. Why? Because it's real food, man. You know, and that's how real food's supposed to be. You know, that's why you see these Babylonians out here. You know, you wonder why you got this big old gut. You know, because you got all these processed chemicals and plastics, you know, just running around in your body. It's like, yeah, I gotta add that in there.
This is Isaiah 66 in verse 22. This is what we're waiting on. It says, "For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, said the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain." And in this place, hey, your seed doesn't remain. Our name is not going to remain in this place, man. And these people out here, they don't care about, you know, us being the Israelites. They don't look up to YASHAMIAHLA. They don't seek his people to serve the Lord. They don't do that, but they will in the kingdom. They're going to be forced to. And they're going to actually, these other nations are going to be in a better position. Yeah, you're going to have to go into slavery, yeah. But after y'all get out the chains, well, y'all gonna be better off than in this place. You're going to have to breathe this dirty air, right? You're not going to have to worry about this defiled food, right? Because over here in America, you got all nations over here. They call this the great melting pot. Right, of course, in these other nations, like the brother mentioned, like Japan, you know, Asia, China, you know, they not like defiling stuff like that. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, Esau's probably still doing some stuff over there because, you know, these other nations, when they implement certain laws and certain decrees, like in China, they already pretty much got the MOTB infrastructure set up over there in China. You know, that's another place. So Esau, you know, he probably doing something with the food, but that's not the mass. That's not the place where he's trying to get the masses of people, because there's, you know, you just got probably mainly Moabites over there. You got Jake the Scared over there, of course, but this place is where his hub of wickedness is America, Babylon, right? This is his training grounds, his stomping grounds, should I say. So he's doing the majority of the stuff over here, because this is where everybody's at, you know? This is where our captivity's at, so the focus is over here.
The bulk of the Israelites that's going to be delivered is over here. Not to say, you know, as the scriptures say, our people is going to be delivered from the four corners, but the bulk of the Israelites that's going to be delivered here is here in Babylon. But yeah, go ahead, Art.
Yeah, like the brother said, you know, this is where the bulk of the Israelites are, man. You know, so Esau, and everything that this devil does, man, he thinks about it. He has these meetings, right? These round table talks, yeah. You know, all these different things to really plot against, you know, the Israelites, us. Right? And you, Jace, that's not the truth. You don't have no hedge. You don't have no protection from YASHAMIAHLA. So you're susceptible to all these different things out here, man. Right? You're not praying. The average Jake is not, you know, fasting, you know, trying to seek, you know, a better life, so to speak. We're seeking a better life in this truth, man. We're not accepting this BS for what this is. That's why we're out here, man. You know, the average Jake, they're settling. Right, if you want to settle, you're gonna die, man. You know, you're not gonna make it. You know, you think that this is it. This is the creme brulee. Nah, this ain't it, man. You know, the Lord said He was gonna make a new heavens and a new earth, and we believe that through faith. We don't gotta see it now. Everything it don't look bad. It don't look good right now, but we know it's gonna come to pass, man. Brothers and had dreams, visions about the kingdom of heaven, right? Spiritual power, right? These things are gonna happen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess a person on the comment board He's trying to ask a question. Tell me, Satan has committed all the sins, but there is one sin that he has not committed, but we humans do. What you got to understand, because what you get this is from Christianity, right? All the angels are in order. Satan is an angel on the left-hand side. He works for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right? Which you ignorantly call God and Jesus, right? Satan is in order. All the angels in order. There was not a fight. When you read the scriptures, there was not a fight within the heavens, right? Where the Heavenly Father is at, you know, that's folktale. That's fairy tale, man. When you read Revelation, right, that's talking about Esau, Edom, right? Who is the so-called white man. Him coming up against the angels of the Lord and the men of the Lord, right? And him being taken down, right? That's not Satan, all right? Because you have Satan counterpart here on the earth is Esau, Edom, right? Whether you believe that or not, that's just how it is, man. Satan is in order. I'm going to get this right here in Job 1, right?
That's your spirit right there.
Yep. Job 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came along with them. You see, showing order. All the angels work for the Lord, right? If you saying that there was a war in heaven, that's showing that the Lord is not in control of nothing, man. He just let his angels just go out of order, and they just come down and have their way with the daughters of men. That's out of order. The angels don't have sex. The angels don't even eat. When they met up with Satan, when they met up with Sodom and Gomorrah, what's his name?
Lot.
Oh yeah, Lot. Slakia. Damn, Satan trying to block my mind. Yeah, Lot, right? They pretended like they ate. All right. When you read that account. So the angels don't have sex, the angels don't eat, right? They're in order. They're doing what they're supposed to do, man.
They're not lustful.
Yeah.
Like them Gomorrites was, them Sodomites was back then. They was lusting over the damn angels, man. Mm-hmm. Man, them angels can destroy you, man. Only one of them, can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, you read about an angel that just killed, thousands of men, just one angel. No problem for him to do that. And the angels ain't little naked babies running around here. That's Esau, Edom. That's his. When you see them naked babies with angels' wings, that's this man's heaven. If you know anything about the EP files and how these Edomites move, they love little children. That is this man's heaven. That's why we got to get the heck up out of here, man, because this man lusting after children. That is this man's heaven, right? The angels look like so-called black men with afros, right? Those are the angels. You got reports of Esau, Edom, seeing the angels, saying how tall they were, the angry face, right? They've seen them. Matter of fact, they've shot shots at the angels. The Lord just had it to where, they haven't shot, the angels, shot back at them, right? But yeah, they seen it. Matter of fact, what was that account? Brothers did a lesson on it. It was like years and years ago. You had this man, which the brother said was an angel, a glitch in the system, as they would say, right? He had spiritual power. He was healing. They kept on trying to kill him. Right?
Simeon Tilko.
Yeah, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think that account happened in like the 60s or 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Esau, this wicked ass man, tried to take him out. I think they chopped him up or something, and then
he 1 million pieces.
Yeah, he reappeared back in the room or something, and they spread his body throughout different parts of the earth and stuff like that. And basically he said, hey, you all don't want me here. That's what the Edomite explained it, at least. Probably chop it up a little bit. Probably add some stuff in there. The Edomites be lying, but the only reason the Lord had to come out is for us to talk about it, because the men of the Lord are in this time, and they're going to get that same power. But the Edomite did say about that Simeon Toko, Jake, you know, there's going to be many more like him, and you will not be able to stop them. You're not going to be able to stop the 144,000, man. That's why these devils, they're doing any and everything to block what they say, the God gene or something like that, or your pineal gland. And the Lord don't need to, the Lord can give you the men of the Lord spiritual power regardless, you know. The Lord can do what he wants to do with his men, man. Look at the different accounts with Samson destroying men with the jawbone of an ass, man.
See that?
You know, King David leaping over walls, him defeating Goliath. These aren't just fictional stories, man. These are real accounts. And we don't have to prove anything to nobody. We don't care if you don't believe, man. You know, this is a faith thing. And faith is only given to the Lord's elect in these times.
Yeah. Also, the women were singing, right? It says Saul, they say Saul kills the thousands of men, which that's a great feat. Saul was killing the thousands of men, but they said David killed the tens of thousands of men. And what the scriptures say, the men of the Lord, right, shall be as David, right? What the scriptures also say, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against them, right? Because we understand that they're scared now. That's why they putting all these agents in here, you know, try to infiltrate this truth, you know, because they scared now. They want to conquer this truth like they did the Black Panthers and so on and so forth of other movements of Jake, right? That's what they did with the Black Panthers. They got infiltrated and they got kicked out, man. You know, with this truth, best believe there's some agents, some men that are paid off, especially not knowing the breakdown of the MOTB, the C-HIP, right? Revelation 13 and verse 16. Men like that, you know, just me speaking as a man, they either paid off or bugged out or both, you know what I'm saying? You know, they have their consolation. But yeah, you no matter what you can do, you cannot overthrow this truth as the scriptures say. But yeah, if you got anything.
I'm going to get the scripture you quoted in Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and from the rising of the sun. And we're in the west, America. Babylon the Great, it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Right? And that's talking about spiritual power, man. You know, men going to be able to take flight. Men going to be able to have super speed like Flash. Right? Men going to be able to shoot laser beams out their eyes, man. Men going to have super strength, man, like the Incredible Hulk or somebody, or Superman. You know? These things are real, man. You know? You Jackson don't believe, well, you could die with Esau. You know? What are you going to do when he comes for you? Because he ain't just coming for us. He coming for any Israelite he can find. Any Israelite by lineage, by, you know, seed line. Because that's how you are an Israelite, by your seed, who your father is. You know? And you going to have Israelites that look like different nations. You're going to have Israelites that look like, you know, Moabites, you know, Chinese people, Japanese people, but they're Israelites. It is what it is, you know? But there's going to be some men that get that power, and you're not going to be able to stop them. What are you going to do, Esau? You know, if you was really wise, you would understand your latter end, like the scriptures say, right? But through your pride and through you being deceived, you're going to still do these things because the Lord has put it on your spirit to do it to fulfill prophecy. So you don't even control yourself. You don't control anything that's happening out here, man. You know, if it was up to you, we wouldn't even have this truth, but it's how you know it's not of your will, it's of the Lord's will, man.
Yeah,
you know?
I got it right here. Right. I'm going to get a little bit, let me see, Acts 5 and verse 36, right? Because, right, these spirits are back here today, right? You have the deacon, you have the men of the other camps, Alizé, right? These men of the other camps that have these wicked breakdowns of the scriptures, you know, no true breakdowns of, you know, the MOTB. You had Grandmaster J.
I remember.
Right? He was over here in Louisville pointing his gun at an agent or somebody of a high official, somebody, and his ass got sent to the slammer. You know, men like that. You have copycats of Grandmaster J. Right? Let's read what happens to those men, right? That are contrary to the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right? Acts 5 and verse 36. For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, right? What the scriptures say, you know, if you boasting of that you're somebody, you're really nothing. That's why when you come into this thing, you be humble, because what the Lord say unto us, we're nothing but worms, right? To whom the number of men, about 400, joined themselves, and what happened to them? Who was slain? You see, that is the judgment that's going to happen unto you if you keep following these wicked ass men, right? And all as many obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. You see, they were scattered and brought to naught, right? Either slain, scattered, and brought to naught, right? After this, a man rose up, Judas, a Galilee, in the days of the taxing, and drew away many people after him. He also perished, and all even as obeyed him were dispersed. You see, and you see these same type of men that's coming in these same type of spirits, right? Right, the Grandmaster J, Alazar, right? Alazar, yeah, right. The deacon, right? What they call themselves before that? They call themselves the Sakari, the dagger men. And you can see how they were moving, conducting themselves as such. There's nothing new under the sun, right? What happened to the Sakari? They got dispersed. They got destroyed, man. You know, we see that now in this day. I don't really, you know, it's just me. I could probably look up their page, but back then, you know, I would say when they were flourishing, I would see more Sakari pages, man.
God.
I don't really see that. That's just me. I'm not saying that they still not doing the work, right? But I don't really see that. You know, it's like their leaders got dispersed. Their leaders changed their names. You know, now it's Genesis. Now it's, you know, it's this and that, you know. I don't really see them doing that, man. That's just me, right? This is verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, let them alone, for if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught, you see. But if it be of power, if it be of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, ye cannot overthrow it, least happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh, Ba'ashim, you see. And Esau Edom has done his best to infiltrate this thing, to try to blame the Israelites. You know, there was some things that happened a couple years ago. They tried to blame it. All the Israelites did it unto the big noses, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't really go anywhere. You know, some other events, you know. So yeah, you're fighting against Yahweh, Ba'ashim, and you cannot overthrow this, man. Right? You come, hey, when you try to touch the Lord's anointed, right, do his prophets harm, that's putting yourself in a casket. Just know that. Just know that, right? You're making all these laws. What's that law in Georgia?
Yeah, the C9 bill. To where
if you want
it a crime for you to, you know, protest and, you know, in the streets and on the sidewalks. Which, hey, that's pretty much what we doing. Not like in the protest where we got signs that we trying to march and stuff like that, but we spiritually protesting.
Yeah.
You know, against this kingdom. So they could be like, oh, well, that's a crime, that's a felony. Hey, you either move or you get locked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's gonna be everywhere, right? You know, the famine of the word it's got to come before all hell fully break loose.
Yeah.
And we pretty much here, man. They banned the Bible in Canada. You know, we got brothers up there, man. I don't know exactly what parts, but I know there's brothers up there teaching.
Your brothers in Canada, brother in Alaska, you know what I'm saying? And, hey, I believe they were doing stuff in Australia too.
Yep.
I believe they're also trying to implement the MOTB. You know, they're quicker as well, you know. So these times that we coming into, you got to remain faithful unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. Understand that, you know, man's going to the Lord, and anything that happens, hey, just endure it, man. Easier said than done, but endure it. Understand that the Lord got you, man. The Lord got you, and you will not come to naught, right? And you got to have that faith. What the Lord said, have a faith of the mustard seed. As the brother's been saying, hey, have more faith than that. Right? Because the Lord going to show out for you. The Lord going to show out for you. So, yeah, you got that bill in Georgia, right? Say if you're blocking a sidewalk, you know, if you're like a repeat offender, you know, they're going to up the charges, man. And we know what that's for. It's for the men of the Lord out here on the highways and byways, man. The scripture saying Revelation 2:10, right? The devil shall cast some of you into prison. You got to expect these things to happen. Prepare your mind. I know easier said than done, but understand what you in, Jake. This is not for the weak. What the people say in the world, you know? The Lord gives, you know, his best, you know, his best soldiers the heaviest work, you know, just roughly paraphrasing what they say. You know, it's something to that effect, man. You know what I'm saying? You are the Lord's best soldiers, man. The best men. First and foremost, you've been given this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that nobody else has, man. That's why I can't understand why Jake, you know, is giving this truth and they just take advantage of it, man. You're supposed to be the Lord's best men, his best soldiers. You're
supposed to be on fire, man. We work for the king of the universe, man.
Woo!
You shouldn't be going a month without making a lesson. What are you thinking about out of 30 days out of a month? What are you doing? We all got, you know, jobs and families and, you know, some brothers got kids, some brothers don't. And if you want the brothers that don't got kids, man, you shouldn't, you don't have no excuse, man. You don't have kids, what else are you doing?
Even if you have kids like myself, even if you have kids,
yeah,
that should push you towards the kingdom. Like, hey, man, I want to see my children, my household be delivered, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, no matter what's your situation, whether you have kids or don't have kids, you about to have kids, you have a wife, you have a baby mama, whatever you going through, you have a job, you're going through a rough patch, man. That's supposed to push you towards the kingdom, man. You know?
You gotta be strong, man. Mentally.
Yeah.
It ain't about being physically strong, because there's a lot of physically strong Negroes out here, but the Lord's not dealing with the average physical strong Negro like someone like a Mike Tyson. He's a mighty man in the earth, right? That Negro can knock out a lot of people, but
even
the
at
Lord's
his
not
age,
dealing with him.
yep.
You know, on a spiritual level, he don't have this truth. He ain't following YASHAMIAHLA, man. Let me get this in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. It says, though therefore my son be strong in the grace that is in the Messiah Yahushua, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who should be able to teach others also.
Woo.
So the elect, man, the elect are going to do these things that please the Lord. They're going to teach, right? They're not going to make excuses. They're going to be diligent. They're going to be on fire. They're going to be constantly meditating upon the ways of Yahweh Shai, right? And they're going to put the Lord first, man. This is your first woman, man. This wisdom is compared to a woman. So, you know, a woman on a physical level, she got to have attention. She got to have care. She got to have provision. We doing these things in the spirit towards Yahweh Shai, man, with this wisdom and knowledge, man, constantly, you know, being involved, right? Daily. Brothers, we reading. You know, when we're not on videos, when we're not at camp, we reading, we studying. Right, we listen to other brothers' videos, elders' videos, the apostles getting built up, right? You know, so where's your mind at, Jake? If you're not on fire, where is your treasure at, like the scriptures say? It can't be on in the heavens. It got to be on the earth, because you're not on fire, man. You know, you doing a video once every 30 days, man. That ain't gonna work, man.
That ain't gonna work, man. They ain't gonna cut it. What the Lord said, I'd rather for you to be hot or cold, even bring it to a worldly sense, man, right? You love a cold, refreshing water, or cold water, you know, is good for the body. You know, you take a nice cold shower, wakes up the body, you know, increases blood flow. You know, hot water is good, you know, if you drink it, you know, increases, you know, your digestive system, you know. So the Lord's like, hey, you either hot or cold. You got lukewarm water, taste that shit, you're like, I don't want that shit. I'm spitting that out.
That's how the Lord's gonna look at you, man. If you're not serious in this thing, man. He ain't gonna deal with you, man. You gotta be on fire in this thing, man. You gotta come correctly, right? You gotta have the 100% truth too, right? You can't have 88% truth or 72%. You know, you got to be the full thing. You got to eat the whole roll, right? You got to come correctly. You know, that's why it's important to have elders, man. You know, a lot of these other major Israelite camps, they I guess some of them may say they're elders, you know, but they ain't been this thing as long as the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, because they have the stories about One West and about what happened back then in the 90s and in the 80s. We wasn't there. Most of the Israelites that's been around for a couple years, we was not there. Even if you may be an older brother, most of us wasn't there. You know, but they were there back then, so they can tell you of the accounts of these different things. They got the wisdom and experience from YASHAMIAHLA to lead you and to guide you to YASHAMIAHLA, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now, if you ain't listening to the elders and apostles, man, then you being led astray, man, because these other camps, man, a lot of them, I'm speaking as a man, it looks like they about the numbers, about how it looks, because I've seen that video. I think I sent it to you, Value. I see you did a lesson on it. Yeah. About them preaching and marching, man, for Nolan Wells. Yeah, they Jake got judged ultimately. You can't be emotional about it. And they said
the name Yahweh.
Yeah, they said the name on the video. Bishop Nate's supposed to say something about that. If you saying that that's not the name, you got to correct those men, so-called. You know, but that is the name. And then I think he ended up saying what, Christ or the J word, I think.
Yeah.
Like how you? Come on, man.
He said the name Yahweh, but he still didn't say Yahweh Shah.
That made me mad when I seen that. I'm like, man, why are you confusing the people, man? Like, and we're not saying certain men are not sincere in these other camps. We know that there are certain men that's sincere, but their leaders are leading them to destruction. They're leading them to a path that's gonna get them destroyed, and so they're gonna have to answer for that. Yeah,
matter of fact, what you saying that Proverbs 13 and verse 20, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. That's why we keep telling you, take heed, listen to the men of the Lord, the apostles and elders and brothers on down of Great Millstone. They're going to feed you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and they're not going to lead you astray. Matter of fact, any brother that's bucking up, any brother that's breaking down the scriptures wrong, or, you know, he's not doing his lessons, he gets corrected. And if he don't, you know, get that true correction, he out of here. He kicked out.
Yep.
That's how it is, man. You know, the Lord said, have no respect of persons, man. You know, this brother ain't doing what he's supposed to do. You know, you have your little sit downs, your conference, you know, with the brothers, and, you know, you try to get this down to a point, and if he's still being hard-headed, not doing what he's supposed to do, you can kick rocks. That's how it is. But check this. But a company of fools shall be destroyed, right? You got these other men, you got the believers of the way, right, which may end up doing a lesson on that. Hey, their breakdown of the MOTB. They say the MOTB was not the C-hip, right? Was not the MOTB, right? Then what is it? You know what I'm saying? These other camps, that's why you gotta be wary of these other camps. They'll say it's white women. They'll say it's you know, it's calm, it's this and that, it's sin, it's worshiping Caesar Borgia, the actual picture. Nah, you have to go into the etymology, right? You have to go into the blue letter, right? You have the charagma and the charax, man. That is something that's going to be inserted inside of you. And you cannot buy or sell, rich or poor, free or bond. They told you a couple weeks ago, right? If you don't accept this new AI system, you don't accept this new wave that's coming, you're going to be ostracized. If you have ears, you know, ears to hear, eyes to see, right? The Lord's dealing with you. You understand what they really talking about. If you don't take that thing, you out of here, man. You out of here. But the elect is going to be good, as we said earlier. Elect going to be good. Yeah, go ahead, all right.
I got this in Proverbs 27 and 5. It says, open rebuke is better than secret love. Woo! So it's better for you to get openly corrected, right, on the doctrine, on the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, than for you to just not get rebuked, right? That's actually love. Yeah. You know, if I see this brother going off, I'm going to let him know.
Yeah, he got to.
Vice versa, you know, and it's really a sin. If you go into it in Leviticus, you know, you ain't supposed to just let the brother go off and you know he's going off. You got to correct him, man. You know, what did Yahushua, you know, was it Peter, right? Yep. Hey, Yahushua had to do what he had to do. He had to go through what he had to go through. But he you know, he called him Satan, you know? And Yahushua loved Peter, man.
Yeah.
You know, but in the moment, Yahushua, he's not a man of feelings, you know, to where he's, you know, oh, no, man. Yahushua is straightforward, man. That's why they said they were astonished at the doctrine, right? He's doing his Father's will, Yahweh's will.
Yeah.
And we're doing their will, Yahushua will, you know? So we're not caring about Jake's feelings. We're telling you this for the salvation of your soul. Now, it's up to the Lord whether or not you're going to repent and then stop teaching false doctrine, but I mean, you can't say you wasn't warned.
Jake. Yeah. Should you even go to the account, man? His parents was looking for him for like days, man. And where was he at? He was out there teaching. That should show you right there. You need to be doing the work of the Lord, all right? Always abounding in the faith, doing the work of the Lord, just roughly paraphrasing, man. Doing the work of the Lord. That's what he was doing at a young age, right? Doing the work of the Lord. You should be in that same spirit. Like the brother said, you going 30 days, every 30 days, you do one lesson every 30 days. You need to get yourself in order, man. You really ain't in this truth.
That's not an excuse, Jake, man. Like, you got a brother, you can call up a brother and do a lesson or something. You tell me you ain't thought about that at least once? Like, come on, man. Like, all the times you off of work. We all get a day off or two or whatever throughout the week or something. Like, what are you doing, you know? You have a day where it's raining outside, you know, you off work or you just ain't doing no errands. What are you doing, Jake? There's no excuse to not do a lesson that long.
Yeah, even the scriptures say if you don't provide for your family, you're infidel. You can apply that scripture spiritually as well. If you do not do the work of the Lord, you're infidel. Right? Because some brothers have families, you know, you have a wife, children, or so, you know, woman, you know. If you don't do the work of the Lord, your peoples ain't eating. You ain't eating.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Look at it that way, right? That famine is coming. They talking about it's a whole disease out there with the plants, you know, the vegetation, man. Come on, man.
This man's a damn devil, man.
He's a damn devil. He gotta get the heck up out of here, man.
But you, Jake's not taking it serious, man. What else more do you have to see? You gotta just be thrown into your trouble. I get that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take for you to get, you know, everything stripped from you. That's what it's gonna take, man.
Yeah.
For some of you Jakes to realize, oh, I should have been on fire. I should have been, you know, really serving the Lord as much as I could, man. Now's the time before those days come, and those days are rapidly approaching. This devil's doing everything he can to make sure we dead.
Yeah. Just me speaking as a man, because it's been humid, man. It's been humid for the past couple weeks. And so, once again, just me speaking as a man, this man got these data centers, and they drinking up a lot of water, right? They drinking up a lot of water.
So speaking of that, I seen, I think it was 2 days ago, they was protesting down here because they trying to build a data center down here. So, you know, Jake protesting. You ain't going to win, Jake. It ain't going to win, man. Them systems is going to be set up for the MOTB, man. So you're not going to win. And they already got them set up in certain places. They just got to build one here.
Let me see something. I'm going to look up let me see. Yeah, if you got anything, I'm going to look up something real quick.
Let me get 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, because these other camps, man, they must not be studying, going into the blue letter. You know, some of them, I can't say, you know, everybody's doing that, but, I mean, if you look up the blue letter, it tells you what it is. It's charagma.
Yeah.
You know, it means an incision. You know, it's not anything spiritually, or it's not symbolic, or it's not a metaphor, right? But it says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, and that's what you're supposed to be doing out here, man. When you do your sit downs, you're supposed to be teaching Jake the way, the truth. You know, don't they call themselves believers of the way?
Yep.
I don't know what way y'all claim to believe in, but I don't even think I heard of them in 2018, 2019. I don't think I heard of them probably till like 2021, 2022. I'm not saying that y'all wasn't out there. I don't know, but I just didn't hear about you until around that time. But either way, you know, you're going off on that, man. And you got other camps like Watchmen for Israel. They don't teach the MOTB is the chip. They teach us, you know, sin or something else. It's not. They don't teach us to see it, man. But how could a big prophecy like that not be in the scriptures? How could it not be in the Bible? Right? That's ultimately this man's plan, you know, so he can set himself up as a God on the earth, man. That's how he looks at himself. He has a God complex. You know, he wants to be like the Most High. Does it not say that in the book of Isaiah 14? You know, matter of fact, let me get that before you get that.
Yeah, you good, brother.
It's Isaiah 14, right? In verse 14, I'm gonna start at verse 13 actually. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart," when you go into that word heart, it means lob, which is your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "I will ascend into heaven," right? This is physically, and this dude wants to do that, you know, spiritually as well, right? It says, "I will exalt my throne above the stars of YASHAMIAHLA." The stars are the Lord's people, man, the Israelites, right? But this man has done that with his satellites as well, right? He wants to be in the heavens. He wants to be like the Lord. It says, "I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the North America." It says, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." This is Esau Edom. That's his mindset, man. There's this one Edomite, I forgot, I seen an article about it, but he was doing something to where he claims to have found the cure for immortality, or where he can extend his life. Nigga, you can't extend nothing. Only the Lord can extend your life. You know? Only reason you still breathing and even saying some stupid shit like this is the Lord, you know, put it in your mind to deceive your ass. You think that you got it, you don't got it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta find that Edomite, man. He look weird, man. You could tell.
Is it an older Edomite?
He might be like 40, 50. He got a son that's probably like, you know, 20s maybe.
Yeah,
I've probably seen it.
I think it's the one where he's taking his son's blood,
Yeah,
and adding it to his blood, and it's making them so-called become younger. And then he's adding his blood to his father's blood. So his father his father can, you know, apparently look younger. But I believe it came out, because what you're saying that now his own body is turning against him. I believe he said his own body is eating itself or something like that, because you try to live forever, you know, try to be young forever. Let me see if I find that picture.
Man, that immortality is only promised to the Israelites, man. That ain't promised to you. You got your blessing. Just live it out and just die on this side. You know? That's all you gotta do. Max out your card. You know, hey, do what you gotta do, man.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
48-year-old man spends over $2 million, because I believe he's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. So a year trying to, well, if it's $2 million, I would say he has to be upper echelon, maybe like a billionaire or so.
Because that ain't nothing.
Yeah, because they say in the world, really, if you want to be responsible, if you're a millionaire, you got to live like a thousandaire. If you're a billionaire, you got to live like a millionaire. So, you know. But anyways, that goes to show you, you know, what's that, James 5, you know, the rich man.
I got a scripture for him.
Yeah, go ahead and get that. But anyways, I'm gonna finish reading this. Slacky. 48-year-old man who spends over $2 million a year trying to become younger and healthier, and who claims he will live past 163. You see that proudness, that boastfulness, and not actually taking care of your body. I mean, I'm not to say that, you know, he ain't working out or nothing, but you got to eat properly too, right? Has become diagnosed with autoimmune gastritis, right? It says my stomach is eating itself. So you boast, call Allah YASHAMIAHLA. You see, so you were boasting that you may live up to 163 years past the age limit in which Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA has set. I believe it's 120, right? In which, in these days, you know, barely anybody's, you know, especially here in Babylon the Great, is living past 100. You know, you have a couple here and there, but shoot, you get about 80, 90. Some people's been like 60. Shoot, even 40s, man. You know what I'm saying?
Especially Jake, because we under the curses. I used to work at a retirement home, and you know, these Edomites, they get up there because this is their world, but that doesn't mean the Lord's dealing with them. They may reach 80 and 90 and 100, some of them, but a lot of Jakes die younger because we're under the curses. But in the end, you know, Jake is gonna get that blessing. We gonna have our foot on his neck, man, in the kingdom. And all the Jakes that did die at a young age, or they just got judged, however the Lord did it, they're gonna be back in the kingdom. They're gonna have what he was wishing he got, immortality. We're gonna have that. That ain't for you, Esau. Or these other nations. They're not getting that. The new covenant, Hebrews, the 8th chapter, right? It was at Jeremiah 32.
Jeremiah 36.
31.
Is it 31, 31? Yeah, Jeremiah 31, 31, and Hebrews 8.
Yeah, that's only for the Israelites. That's not for the other nations. You're not going to get immortality, man. The Lord's not dealing with you. Right? This is as far as this is concerning that man who thought he's going to live, or he's expecting to live 100 and some years. It's Lamentations 3:37. It says, who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass when the Lord commanded it not? You don't know if you're going to live that long. Well, you ain't got that long. I'm going to say that because, you know, we don't got that much longer in this kingdom, man. You're going down. If you only 48, you ain't even really that old. You ain't even old. You ain't old. But you don't got that much longer, man. You ain't going to live another 50 years. This kingdom got 50 years, man. This kingdom is going down, man. We firmly believe that in our lifetime, man.
Absolutely. The way things is moving. Once again, speaking about these data centers, because I looked it up, Salakia, because I'm going to get, matter of fact, if you got anything, if not, get Obadiah 3-4 laying back on old boy. But I'm going to look this up real quick about these data centers, man. Because I was looking up real quick. I get this real quick. Can heating up lakes and oceans cause the rise of humidity, or humidity to rise? And the answer is yes. Because if you know anything about the data centers, right, they have all these computer components that need to be cooled down. And the main source that they use to cool it down is by water. So it says, yes, warming lakes and oceans, heating up, heats the air above them. This causes more water to turn into vapor. This process is called evaporation. As more water vapor enters into the air, the overall humidity rises, you see? So, you know, just me speaking as a man, with these data centers heating up the lakes and oceans, right? You got this huge heat wave that's just coming through, man. You know, Satan. Huge heat wave that's just coming in. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why it's been hot. Yeah. You know, it's the humidity, man. You know, it's the humidity.
We know it's summertime.
Yeah.
Damn.
But damn, you know, normally it's like hot. You know, you can bear it, but when the humidity hits, it's like, damn, what is this? You know what I'm saying?
It like hugs you.
Yeah. Like a little, you know, blanket over you. But yeah, go ahead, Doc.
This is Obadiah 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's how this nigga thinks, man. He don't think he's gonna be brought down. That's why he has the audacity to even think upon that and then act upon it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're the Edomites. You know, I ain't heard of nobody else doing no shit like that, man. You know, it's only Esau. That's why you're gonna get the worst judgment out of all the heathen. You damn Edomites and Hamites.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't forget about y'all or you other nations, man. You know, but y'all gonna get the worst judgment, you Edomites, because eventually, you know, we're gonna eradicate y'all in the kingdom. You know, that ain't gonna be done on this side, you know, because y'all gotta play out y'all's judgment and y'all gotta play out in the part of prophecy. But I want to get this in unless you got one up.
Con, you go ahead, brother.
This is Psalm 17 and verse 13. You know, because these Edomites, they have everything they want. They have everything they can, you know, access to do certain things, man. This is Psalm 17:13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, YASHAMIAHLA, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of the substance to their babes. Woo. Right? They have what you call generational wealth, which is really shit that they stole from us.
Yeah.
You know? But that's another video for another day. But, you know, they've been doing that for a couple hundred years now since they've been ruling over us. And then they're going to just continue doing it. Like it says in Psalms 49:11, their inward houses are going to continue on, and they call the lands after their own names. Right? But little did they know it's the end of their kingdom. That's why we're out here. That's why we know the name is YAHWAH. That's why we telling you what's going to happen to you out of the scriptures that you thought you taught us, and you thought that we was going to never have that understanding. No, the Lord changed it around, and he put the Holy Spirit upon men to teach you and tell you that you're going to be destroyed. Yep. And how is that? You know? How is that? Because the Lord is ruling. The Lord is controlling things. Y'all ain't running nothing. You know? The fact that you have a life expectancy, you're gonna perish. You know, you aging. That proves that the Lord exists. You don't have control, man, and you're gonna realize that you're just men when the Lord comes down, Yahweh with the angels, right, and beams your ass, zaps your ass. You know, not beam up. I ain't say beam up. You know, because
in Genesis,
I ain't say that. I say beams you with that laser beam and disintegrates you. Yep. Makes you turn on fire if you don't get hit with a missile. Well, we know this place, America, is going to get totally destroyed. There ain't going to be nobody over here once the missiles hit America, right? But you Edomites that's still in other countries that don't get hit, because every place ain't going to get hit with no missile, right? We're going to round your ass up, man. Yeah. You know? And, hey, I don't know if he live in America. He may not, but if he still left, we're going to get you. You know, so you're going to get to live, but you're going into slavery.
Going into slavery while your stomach is eating your ass up, man.
Yeah, so I hope you've been working out, you know, eating your veggies, drinking the milk, getting big and strong.
Kind. Yeah, ain't no rest for the wicked. You know, even in the kingdom, the brothers was speaking about, even on your rest day, your mind is going to be plagued. You know, even here in Babylon the Great, say you got your off days, right? Your mind still might be plagued, man. I still got to go to work tomorrow, man. Even though it's an off day, I can't truly, bro, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be worse for you. The Lord said, give unto them double. It's going to be worse for you. You're going to be feeling that. We going to send them evil angels on you. We're going to send Shaitan on you. Yep. Right? Your mind is going to be plagued, you know? Your mind is going to be plagued. So even if it's an off day, you're licking your wounds, you're tying yourself up, man, you ain't going to have good sleep, right? Think about people with sleep apnea, right? People that have sleep apnea, all right, especially in a younger age as well, if they get that in a younger age, it causes development issues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna have that. You ain't gonna have a true, a true good night rest, man. You know, you still gonna feel tired. You know, think about when you work out. You know, there may be some days where you work out and your body might be extra. You're gonna be like that 100 times, man.
Yep.
100-fold.
And we gonna make your ass have sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
You know, where you can't
trying to wake up, yeah.
Yeah, that demon on you. You know, which, we know the Lord's doing that now to some of you damn Edomites, man. It ain't just gonna be in the kingdom, it's happening now. Y'all in the flesh now too. Yeah. But the thing is, you're not getting immortality, man. And that's why the Lord is going to, the Lord's probably gonna take that, he gonna take that dude out. More than likely, he gonna take him out because he's dying anyway. Yeah. So, or the Lord may allow you to live until the end if we got, if we get out of here in the next couple months or, whatever case may be. But hey, you going into slavery regardless, man. You're gonna be brought back if you die.
Yeah, you try to be all boastful. Yeah, I'm gonna live to 163.
We want your dad and your son.
Yeah, they all getting round up because you did that to our people. You did that to our people, man. Y'all gonna be rounded up. As a matter of fact, let's get that Jeremiah, right? Because I was going to get Revelation 11, but hey, since we're here, let's get Jeremiah, what's that, 16, verse 16, right? Jeremiah 16 and verse 16, right? Behold, I will send for many fishes The fishers are out here right now. That's why you're trying to stop this word, right? Because we're out here fishing for the elect. The elect is going to get this word, is going to get this truth, right? Saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them, and after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. You're going to be hunted down, right? It speaks about Esau Edom. He was a cunning hunter, right? He was a great hunter. You see that. Matter of fact, I'm seeing a lot of videos of these hunters getting judgment, right? The animals still attacking you. You shot an elephant. The elephant falls down on you. You get crushed by it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the world is fighting against you, man. Your women is fighting against you. Your women is coming after us.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Jake!
Hey, it's over, man.
I mean,
it's over.
they want that protein, man, that vitamin D.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know. We ain't pushing no adultery, but or nothing like that. But just they want Jake in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go, of course, if a Edomite woman come up to you and wants you or something, you gotta be wise, man. You can't jump on that, man. If she got a man, man, Yeah. Jake in the world do shit like that. Oh, I don't care. That's wicked, man. The Lord gonna take you out, man. That's what does it say in Proverbs, the 6th chapter? It says, "Whoso committeth adultery lacketh understanding." And the Lord, hey, that's one of them jealousies that that man ain't gonna have no pity. You know, because I be seeing little prank videos, but the Lord don't look at that as a prank, man. The Lord looks at that as a death sentence. The Lord is angry if you do some stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you be having Jake making these prank videos, and she right there with her man, and he grabs her hand, and she's all mesmerized, and the scriptures say not to even sit with another man's wife, man.
Yeah.
Not even get no drinks, no sit with her. There's reasons for that, man. And Jake want to look all crazy when the man starts to, put the hands on him, man. Hey, he's really technically in the right for doing that, man.
Even taking him out.
Yeah,
he ain't wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be seeing the videos. I seen some of the videos yesterday. I'm like, man, come on, man, Jake, come on. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that, man.
Yeah.
But them niggas is gonna be destroyed, man. I don't see them niggas repenting, man. None of them niggas, man.
Yeah.
Jake in the world think that shit's funny, think it's a game, but that's the culture that is being pushed upon Jake. It's all in the music, talking about something, I'm gonna take your, bitch, all that stuff. It's in the damn movies and TV shows. What's wrong with just getting a woman that don't have a man? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
There's women everywhere, man. Why you gotta choose the one that's already with somebody?
Yeah, because that's technically gay. Really, it is. It's seeing another man's nakedness that is technically gay. All right. You are wicked, man. You're going to be taken out the map, man. But yeah, when you're courting a woman, you gotta, cause it's here in Babylon the Great, man. Women lie, men lie, like the song say.
Yeah, Yo Gotti.
yeah. These women be lying, man. So you gotta, you gotta make sure she ain't got no man. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, they're all going to come in order, whether they like it or not, which a lot of them is going to accept it. They're going to get into their right mind when Jacob's trouble hits. When it really hits, Isaiah 4:1 hits, they really going to get into their right mind, right? They're going to see that they're going to need a man of the Lord, right? So if you ain't got a woman, you having women issues, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, Jake. Remain faithful. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the scripture real quick. Slaggy, remain faithful. Damn. I think I was looking up.
Be content with what you got, man.
Yeah. Be content with what you got. The water. Romans 5:3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulation, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience. Whatever tribulation that you're going through, whatever type of, endure it. And understand it's working your patience. It's getting you ready for the kingdom of heaven. And then when all hell breaks loose, you already in that spirit like, hey, I can take this. I'm good. Easier said than done. He's like, I'm good. Right? You're gonna see things, you're gonna see the work, you're gonna see the Lord work for you, man. You're gonna see these women get in order, right? gonna see these people get judged and them wishing that they took heed, right? That's why you're supposed to be building up your spiritual art. It's gonna be good, Jake.
Man, I'll be hoping one of them videos where Jake going up to a damn a woman that got a man in the damn store, she picking up something, you picking it up for her, and then you grabbing her hand. I hope one of y'all get popped, man. I ain't gonna feel sorry if I'm gonna laugh at you.
Absolutely.
But you shouldn't be doing that. You know, what do you expect, man? How would you feel if somebody did that to you? You with your woman, they recording you. Cause you got a lot of these niggas that do shit like that. You recording these people in the store and, you know, being weird, man. You know, all for some clicks and some views, right? You know, serving Satan, man. Serving, you know, you doing the bidding of Esau, man. Esau wants you to be in that spirit, you know, being wicked, man. Because he knows when you wicked, the Lord's not gonna deal with you. And he know that he can pretty much do whatever he wants to, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, if we not one with our power, hey, there's free game for Esau and these nations. You know, a lot of y'all Jakes, man, you know, hey, Esau he gonna have his way with you in these FEMA camps, man. You know, he gonna do you dirty, man, grimy, like Diddy, man.
Shoot.
And you know, I know we kind of joking about it, but it's serious. This man Esau, he gets down with children, like we were talking about earlier. You know, men. Right? It's not just women. This man don't like women like that, man. He don't.
He'll wear that.
Yeah, he like men. And he like animals. Right? You shouldn't have something called bestiality. But you do because these wicked ass, weird, demonic, abomination ass people, man. You know? But I got this in Romans 8 and verse 18, you know, talking about the sufferings that we go through. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed to us.
Revealed unto us, yep.
So as much stuff as we have to go through, right, we have to endure. You know, we don't have everything on this side, but it's all but gain for YASHAMIAHLA. You know? So you're not losing on anything, really. Just because you don't have something physically, it is what it is. Everything's tainted on this side. Everything. Ain't nothing pure over here. You know? Everything's tainted. Ain't nothing 100% clean.
Yeah. These women get mad when you want you want a woman that has no body count. You know what I'm saying? You know, a virgin. You know? They get mad. Oh, you know, how many men have you been with? 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, this. Well, shoot,
10 is a lot.
Yeah.
5.
Shoot.
No, it's not. Like,
I was at work. They was asking. Jake at work was asking the women at work, how many men have you been with?
You let every nigga that walk up to you hit. That's what you doing.
Practically. There was one woman like that. She was busted. She was hit. I mean, just ugly. She said like 500.
God damn.
There was one woman, she said like 50. Another girl said like 50. I was like, damn, we got to get the heck up out of here. You know, I was just kind of meddling because I had my headphones on. Normally I'm in the zone, you know, I'm just doing my thing, you know, trying to get my paycheck, get in, get out. The Spirit just had on me on that time to just, you know, turn down the volume, you know, start listening to the people's conversation, you know, just hearing what the people saying, and just so happy, you know, they talking about body counts, and I was just like, damn.
And that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal in society. Somehow, some way, because this wicked ass man is ruling. So it's normal. Sexual immorality is something to be praised. It's something to be highly esteemed. Right? That's why the scriptures say, what does it say in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse? You know, for the last days should be perilous times. People being lovers of themselves. That's you being lovers of yourself, being lovers of your flesh, and lovers of YASHAMIAHLA, man. And a lot of our women, they lead that category, man, in body counts. You know, with people that they slept with, they lead that. But that's because of the culture that's being pushed. And Esau has a lot to do with that. Just because he's not the face, well, I mean, he's the person writing the check. He's the person signing off on the paperwork to authorize you to say stuff like that or make music about it and put it in the movies and stuff. Jake is just a lot of the face of that stuff, man. But you know, these Edomite women do it too. All these women do that. you know. But you Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom women, you ain't supposed to be like that. You're Israelites.
Yeah.
Right? You're supposed to be holy. You're supposed to only have one man your whole life. Oh my gosh, one man. Matter of fact, I seen a lesson yesterday. This Eve, she said something about y'all get tired of us. Well, we get tired of you too. Well, hey, in the kingdom, you're not gonna feel like that. You wicked on this side. You know.
That's wicked.
You gotta deal with your man. You know. So you rather be a whore and commit adultery than to just deal with your man, even though he take care of you and all these different things, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why another thing, social media is lucky. I know I'm kind of going.
Oh, you good, brother? Hey, kill it, brother. You got it.
Yeah, social media. You know, when women have that, it's different. You got too much access to different things, like men.
Yeah.
Let's just be straight up. You know, you got access to all these different things, and you know your man don't know. You know, you got a DM on this social media, Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and X, formerly known as Twitter. All these different, you know, things, not even counting your messages, just that comes on your phone, you know. So there's all different types of ways to do stuff and get away with it, you know, and you wouldn't even never know, even if they don't have social media. The fact that women have to go to jobs and they have to go out the house and, you know, not be around you because we in the kingdom to where, you know, we don't have everything on this side. We ain't under the curses. So, you know, some brothers, women work and stuff, you know. So you're around other men, and men don't care. So you really can't stop nothing. We can't stop anything from really happening, you know. You can't. All you can really do is go off of faith, and it is what it is. Mm-hmm.
Hey, shoot. They be having them work husbands, man.
Man.
I believe there was a story that came out. Jake popped the work husband, man, or
a woman at the workplace who had a husband.
Yeah.
Man, this woman used to do that. She used to say some shit like that to me in this one job I had. I'm like, I can't do that. You got a husband.
Nah, that's wicked.
Yeah, like
I'm not entertaining you, man.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't, because the Lord could have took me out.
Yeah, absolutely, and he would have been justified. So, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit is wicked. You know? And then like the story I was telling you about, it was either the work husband killed the husband or the husband killed the work husband. I think it was the work husband killed the husband.
That's in every workplace. That's why men and women ain't supposed to just be around each other. If that's not your man, you're not supposed to be around him. We're in the flesh. Unfortunately, things happen with certain men and certain women. Things happen. That's why you ain't supposed to be around them. Right? And then also, you know, women, you know, you're supposed to dress modestly. But in this kingdom, you know, you have sexual liberty. You can dress however you want to dress. Wear a damn bra, wear a damn, you know, panties, and you showing everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't stop a man from looking at you or touching you. Because the videos that we were just talking about where they go up and try to help him, he could slap her on the butt. You know, if the man's weak, he ain't gonna do nothing. But, you know, if he's really about something, he is gonna do something. Mm-hmm. But these things happen because of all this freedom that women have, and a lot of these men accept it. They don't care.
Yeah, matter of fact, with that being said, let's get this one real quick. Classic one right here. We all should know this one. Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. That's why Jake can go out here and make all these funny ass videos, so-called funny ass videos of them, you know, talking shit to people out here. I've been seeing that, talking shit. You know, it's really joking, but the person on the other side don't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, can you get me this shampoo over here, asshole? I saw that the other day.
Like I be laughing at some of these videos,
but I'll be like, damn.
Like, but I'm not gonna feel sorry for you if somebody shoots you or beat you to death. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you, Jake. You getting what you're asking for. I don't care about no clicks or views. You getting what you're asking for.
Yep. Holding another man's woman's hands and stuff like that. Like the brother said, we ain't gonna feel sorry. I laugh at it, but at the same time, I don't. I'm just like, damn, he's asking to get popped. He's asking to get, but that's that folly set in great dignity. Matter of fact, with that being said, I watched this earlier today, right before you came through, right? This is from.
He looked like his spirit looked gone. You can see it in his eyes.
Sloggy, all right. So this is from Curtis Akeem. So he had like a hit song back in like 2010 or so. Somewhere around there, 2008, 2010-ish or so. But in this video, right, you can see the title. It says, they wanted me to be a bisexual R&B, to be the first bisexual R&B artist or something like that. But I had to walk away. You go into the account, you know, they was like, man, don't you want to be rich and famous? Don't you want to have, you know, because he was having the sit down meeting with the top execs. And they were sitting down like, hey, man, to get your music popping, to get that fame, that limelight, right? We're going to have to do some changes, man.
Oh, man.
We're going to have to do some changes. How about you be a bisexual artist? That's how they came out with him. You know, you ain't gotta, you know, you ain't gotta do nothing nasty. You just gotta kiss a man and kiss a woman.
That is nasty.
That's how they put it. They say it's not nasty, but it is nasty, man. Your family, your hometown people, they already know you don't go that way. But this is just for optics. This is for that community to get you buzzing, man. To get your ratings off the charts, man. They're gonna latch on to that, man. So he had to sit down. He's like, man, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, man. So he walked away from the music scene. But, you know, how many stories like that has happened? So many of these one-hit wonders, as they say in the world. One hit, you know, these artists that had a hit, they get to the round table. And it was like, you know, hey, if you want it popping, you want that fame, that limelight, hey, you got to do this behind the scenes. You got to do this and do that, man. We're seeing in real time why the Lord said, you know, why you should be happy, as the brother said, content with what you have, man. Because these men are doing things behind the scenes.
It's unseemly.
Yeah. So he was going into it. He was like, man, they're probably just going to tell me to do this first. And then maybe later down the line, I'm going to have to do a little more to get it popping. Yeah. A little more to get it popping, you know? And that's how it starts off.
A lot of niggas be joking about that, you know, that Transformer Decepticon behavior that, you know, a lot of jakes be joking about it, but nah, they not really joking. They doing that stuff behind the scenes. These jakes that you see on TV, you know, they all of a sudden they popping out of nowhere. They doing some stuff, man. Like Charlemagne, man. That I believe that nigga, man. He got to be doing some stuff, man.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, way how he conducts himself.
Yeah, he be laughing and joking too much, man. You a grown man. You think that's funny?
Yeah. Who else? Damn, man, somebody else in mind. Damn. It come back to me.
Barbecue getting to me, Ak.
Yeah.
Probably barbecue and pork over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I hate it when you fasting too, and you smell some food, man. Cause normally my stomach don't be growling and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm kind of used to the fast, you know. But hey, once you smell some food, man, sometimes they try to get to you. But hey, they probably barbecuing some pork.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Pork rye.
Hey, folly is setting great dignity. That's folly, man. We ain't gonna have no pork sausages in our kingdom, man. You do that shit, we gonna know. And that's gonna be your ass, man.
We're gonna lock you up.
Yep. You're gonna be destroyed. You try to cook on the Sabbath, that's your ass. You're gonna be destroyed, man. And we did that to our own people, man. You know, that's the reason why we wear our fringes. Now, in this kingdom, we don't do it, but on our garments, we do it. But, you know, that's going to be your ass, man. But, yeah, there was somebody else I was thinking about. And it come back to me. But, yeah, once again, going back to this, yeah, be content. Be happy with what you have. Because these people, oh, it's Stephon Diggs. That's what it is, man. They said that allegedly, old boy might be, you know.
A diddler.
A diddler, man. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been a lot of stories that he's been with a lot of women, and now he want to dabble with men. We've been seeing that a lot lately. You know, these men that have this great access to women and just all of a sudden, you know, they want to dabble with men. It's like, it's wicked, man. It's wicked. You're supposed to be a Jake. You're supposed to be a mighty man. And allegedly, all right, I'm gonna say allegedly, you want to get down with men. Like this is wicked.
Yeah, you want to get in the slippery slopes with the men. You want to have they got something called I think it's called the Iron Man challenge or something where you gotta go through
the mud and shit.
That's what you want to do with the men, man. You know, that ain't right, man. That ain't the way to be, Jake. You know, but do that. You know, that's probably how he got out of that. He was in some type of situation where somebody was suing him, and he got out of that situation, and you had to participate in them rituals. So Esau said, "Call off the charges." You know, he did his thing. He did his thing with me, so he's good. Like, no, man.
Man.
It's wicked, man. Lord's still gonna judge you.
Yeah, we gotta get the heck up out of here, man. This ain't it, man. This ain't it. But yeah, if you got anything, brother, let me see.
Let me see if I can get this in Proverbs real quick.
Oh, it was one I was supposed to get because we was on the women. Let me get this one first, and then you go ahead. Right. This is Sirach 9 and verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. You see? That was us going into earlier how Jake be, you know, playing around, folly said in great dignity, right? Jake be, you know, out there in public, her man's right there, and he go to hold her hand or try to talk to her. Yeah, you know, don't be surprised if you get popped. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Not supposed to be sitting down with another man's wife, spending money on her and shit, man, or having a work husband. You know, you know she got a man, but you over here still playing around with her at work, man. You're like, man, I'm gonna get that one day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both wicked, man. Y'all both wicked. There's a show called Power, man. I was watching that last night. This woman is so-called separated. No, she's still with her man. Her man was just off abroad or so. She dealing with another man, a drug dealer and stuff like that, man. And so she said, because he got locked up, the man that she's dealing with now, he got locked up. And so her actual husband gave her an emergency fund like years ago, and she used her emergency fund to bail out the new man that she's dealing with now. Yeah. And the old dude said it in the show, man, hey, if I was your man, if I was your husband, I would have been pissed. Use that money on me. But either way, you know, if that was a real situation, both of y'all wicked, man. Both of y'all deserve to be destroyed. But yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Hey, time, man. You know, hey, there's no way to justify that, man. This is Proverbs 15 and 9. It says, the way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness.
See?
And that's not righteousness, man, doing no stuff like that, man. You know, a woman got a man, you just gotta leave it alone. You know, you can't just keep, you know, egging it on or trying to, you know, talk to her and stuff like that. You gotta leave that alone, man. It is what it is. You know? Yep. We know how women are, but you gotta have the spirit on you, man. You gotta walk through the ways of YASHARAHLA, man. You can't be falling after the flesh, man. You know, we know there's pretty women out here, but hey, you can't deal with that, man. It's not worth your salvation over this one bitch. I mean, it's not. And it's not worth it at all. You know, there's other pretty women out here that don't have, you know, a husband or don't have no boyfriend. They out here. Yeah. You know, they out here.
Yeah, you gotta tell yourself it's not worth it. It's like when I go on my longer fast that I've been doing lately, about a 44-hour water fast or so. 44 hours, 46. You know, sometimes it's actual 2 days, but most of the times it's been about like 44, 46, 40. Some days 47. You know, somewhere around that. You know, I be telling myself it's not worth it. You know, if you want some food, it's not worth it. You know, we got a goal. You know, trying to, you know, it's getting closer to the Lord. You know, spiritually closer. You know, and it's also, you know, to get back in great shape. You know, that's really what I'm using it for. You know, so I'm like, man, I got a couple pounds I want to lose. You know, to be in great shape, to have the muscles popping and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's what I tell myself. It's not worth it. You know, it's not worth it. Now, when you're on a fast, make sure you get off the fast properly. You know, make sure you get off the fast properly. Look up how to properly get off a fast. You know what I'm saying? Eat something light. Eat some eggs, some bone broth. You know, some fruits and vegetables. But they really say like some bone broth, some eggs and stuff like that if you're doing like a longer fast. Because if you do it the wrong way, most definitely you can mess yourself up, mess your kidneys up.
Throw up or something.
Throw up. You feel, I've done it before. I kind of like didn't properly get off the fast properly. And you start feeling like shit. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, make sure when you do go on the fast, which you should be going on a fast, as brother's been saying, man, the Day of Atonement should not be the only time you fast, man. You should be implementing the fast here and there. Yep. You know, the brothers in Tennessee and so, right? They do every new moon, for the most part, every new moon they do a 24-hour fast, and plus it's good for your body. But yeah, you just gotta tell yourself it's not worth it. You come to a pretty woman, you know, you find out she got a man. It's not worth it, Jake. It's not worth it to be cut off, to be destroyed. Matter of fact, King David, you know, didn't he get rebuked by the prophet Nathan? Yep. Right? He got rebuked by the prophet Nathan. And he's like, man, you the king. You could have had all these other women. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, David got mercy, but he had to pay for that turmoil. Was it worth it? Losing a child? You know what I'm saying? Was it worth it? Ultimately, he got mercy, you know, but you got to tell yourself, it's not worth it, Jake. It's not worth it.
It don't matter how pretty she is, how much you try to talk to, seduce you, because that's pretty much what Delilah did with Samson.
Yeah. Talking
to him, saying smooth words to him the whole time, you know. And then what happened? Which, you know, hey, he shouldn't have gave his power to women, because it talks about that in Sirach, but that's what happened. Samson was a mighty man.
Yeah, told her his secret, why he has his power. Ultimately, it's of the Lord, but, you know, told her.
And she set his ass up, man.
Yep. Hey, that's something that happens still to this very day, right? Many men has fallen away, you know, given, what's that in First Esdras
4 and 27.
Yeah, if you want to get that out.
God.
I'll probably get that in a different translation. But yeah, if you want to get that.
I'll start at 26. It says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, right, and become servants for their sakes.
Woo.
Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. All right, that's a lot of men, man, you know. And you think if somebody like King David fell, you think that it's not possible? It's definitely possible for us to fall for that. But if the Lord is dealing with you, you probably like, you're not gonna do no stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't gonna do that. You know, the Lord's gonna deal with you, sup with you to where you just gonna, hey, nah, you know, you gonna stiff arm that like a football player, man.
Hey, for real.
You know, and if the Lord write it in your story to get another, you know, woman, then that's what happens. But if it's before that, before Isaiah 4:1, it's gonna happen. But if it's not, then oh well.
Just endure, Jake. Like the brother said, some brothers, you know, some brothers gonna have that now. Some brothers can't handle that right now. You know, what's for one brother is not for another, man. You know, be content. Hey, that's kind of the story of this. Be content with what you have, man. You know. Let me see if I get this in the
NLT.
Yeah, let me see if I get it.
Yeah, because in the days to come, we're not gonna be We're not gonna be. I don't want to say comfortable, but you're not gonna. We're gonna be as pilgrims on the earth. We're not gonna be able to just sit, you know, when Jacob's trouble in our homes. More than likely, you know, we're gonna be on the move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord is gonna, you know, send angels down. Certain brothers get that spiritual power. Well, we keep talking about that spiritual power because it's gonna come, right? You don't gotta believe it, what the Lord's doing, you know. So that's what we waiting on, man. You know, so don't put all your stock and your trust in this system. Don't be trying to get this and get that, man. Hey, to hell with that, man. As this kingdom is fading away, hey, you gotta be. Oh shoot! It came right by ear.
It's probably a sweat bee.
Yeah, probably.
It's a sweat bee.
It sounded weird.
Yeah.
But
they just trying to drink some sweat.
They ain't getting enough.
Yeah, they're harmless, but they just want some sweat from me.
That thing buzzed in my ear. Had to get that thing out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, you can't be trying to get everything on this side, Jake. It's just not our kingdom. Whatever you got, you just gotta be happy with that. You know, it's okay.
Yeah. I got this 1 Esdras 4 and verse 26. It says New Revised Standard Version, right? Many men have lost their minds because of women.
Woo.
And have become slaves because of them. Many have perished and stumbled or sinned because of women. Let me say what it says in the AI overview.
Lost their minds.
Yep.
Oh man.
Lost their minds over women. Like with Samson, as a brother gave the example over there, you know, you supping with her, drinking with her, you know, doing the thing with her, and you know, and you tell her your secrets, and she uses that against you, and you know, practically backdoors you, man.
Yeah, that's what Jake say in the world. Man, this nigga about to backdoor me, man.
Yeah. You know, 1 Esdras 4 verse 26. Right, the speaker argues that men lose their senses because of women and become their servants. He states that many men have died, fallen, have failed, or done wrong because of women, you see?
Man.
And that's why you're supposed to give your trust in Yahweh by YASHAMIAHLA.
Yep.
Right? Give your trust in Yahweh by YASHAMIAHLA. Because these women out here, it's not worth it, Jake.
It ain't worth it, Jake.
It ain't worth it. Now, if the Lord blesses you with a woman that you can deal, hey, call Lord Yahweh by YASHAMIAHLA. But other than that, these women are tainted, defiled, you know. They on some hood rat shit. You know what I'm saying? We saw it a couple years ago, right? When we was at our other camp spot. This Elamite wanted to stone his woman, right? And we pretty much, you know, believed through the spirit that she probably committed adultery. Now, he had no salt. Like, he couldn't even throw that rock. You know what I'm saying? However he threw that mug. But he was mad. That's that wine of Babylon, man. That's that wine of Babylon and why we got to get the heck up out of here. But yeah, if the Lord blesses you with a girl, hey, call Lord Yahweh by YASHAMIAHLA. Hey, if you get more, call Lord Yahweh by YASHAMIAHLA. Right? But ultimately, Lord, order's gonna come when Isaiah 4:1 comes, man. You know, don't go crazy, don't lose your mind over these women.
Man.
You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Man, it takes me back to a man in 6th grade. You know, I remember this. He was an Edomite, but I remember him saying, you know, this girl in our class, her name was, what was her name? Her name was like Autumn or something. But he was like, man, I think he said something about, I'll lick your feet or something. We in 6th grade, so we, how old are we, 12, 11? So, you know, we young, you know, we at that age to where, you know, your hormones and all that stuff is starting to pop and all that. And you know, some young women, they hit puberty before that, 9, 10 years old. Some of them do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But for boys, it's usually around 11, 12, if I'm not mistaken. So we in middle school or junior high. You know, I remember this nigga saying that, and I was like, bro, what the hell? I knew even back then, like, what is wrong with you, man? You got some niggas talking about I'll drink your bath water. No, man. So you want to do anything. You want to sacrifice your life. You think your ass could die doing some shit like that.
Yeah.
The bitch could have a disease, an autoimmune disease or something. And you want to do that just to get close to her. You ain't gonna do nothing with her.
Wicked, man.
Through.
Wicked. It's like I believe we covered it a couple weeks ago. He had this appear to be Edomite, which I believe is an Edomite. You know, he killed his whole family. Right? He used their savings or so to spend that money on the OnlyFans model. And he murked his whole family, man. You know, you didn't even get to touch her. You didn't even get to be in her presence.
Using the virtual reality sex world. Like, come on, man.
You done. You through, man.
You done.
You know, you through.
Finish him. That's what's happening to you.
But I'm going to get this, and I'm going to go ahead and close it out right here, unless you got anything else out. This is Revelation 21 and verse 4. And power shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for all the former things are passed away. And that is what we're waiting for, man.
God.
No more death, no more pain, sorrows being passed away. This damn Edomite being taken into captivity and being subject unto us, man. And having true peace, true rulership, a true clean earth, man. It's going to be beautiful, man. But that's only going to happen in the kingdom, man. Yep. So we got to patiently wait for that. You know, and tired of seeing you niggas simping over these women and going crazy. Wicked. Following at the ways of Esau, Edom, being Bati boys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This place got to go. So if you want to close it out, all right?
Hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Keep the faith, Jake. We're going to close out. We want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kakodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, great millstone. Peace, salutations to the elect. Tabernacle of David. We want to say shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.